And about indicators, you also have to have observed and tested several of them. You test an indicator for a duration of time. You can also test 2 or 3 indicators combined, but the problem is some of them will not show the signal at the same time. As you know, indicators, most of them are lagging, so some people will opt to use price action only, others will use indicators. I also use indicators, but you'll find that some of the indicators lag, but you can, if you're combining them, you can adjust the inputs if one is lagging so much, but you have to observe them for a duration of time to be able to use them. If you want to learn for free, maybe you can use the YouTube tutorials that are free of charge. But if you want to use, like, find someone who has been using them, testing them for a while, and has indicators that are working, and that are working on all time frames, not just maybe specific ones, you can pay. Like for me, I teach strategies. I also show you the indicators I use. I tell you the inputs. Then you can find signals using those indicators in whatever time frame you're using. If, for example, you don't have time to keep monitoring all the time, you can use a daily chart. That's why I'm giving signals using the daily chart. You can use H4, that is hourly, H4 or H1, that is per 1 hour or per 4 hours. The candle is per 4 hours or 1 hour. But if you have time to monitor, or you're a scalper, you can use the minute 1, the minute 5. It depends on how available you are to monitor your charts. But all strategies should work for all time frames. So on the phone, you will notice that they are only default indicators. But on the computer, on your PC, you can download indicators from, maybe they are programmed by some other people, then you can test them. But on the phone, you can only use those that are on the platform. So if you want the indicators, you click on this, looks like a small F. You can add whatever indicator you want. There is Bollinger Bands, moving average, MACD, demarker, all these are indicators. So it depends on whatever strategy you're using, and for how long you've tested them, and if they are working or not working. If not working, you can remove and test another one. So if it is like, if you want the moving average, you can, this is default setting, you place and say done. This, the red line, is the moving average. If you're using, let's say you want to add another moving average, you add onto that one. So you click on this plus, you click on moving average again. If you want, let's say you want maybe like 50, you adjust at the period. If you want to say, there are many types of method. There is simple, there is exponential, that is EMA, there is SMA, smooth, and linear weight. So let's say if you're using exponential, if you've tested and you want to use when candle close, open, high, median, all these you can place. Then you say done, or you can also change the color so that you are able to differentiate and it's easier. You'll differentiate because they are a bit apart, and the less it is, the nearer it is to your candles. So if, for example, you want another one, you just come and place and add on to this. You use, like, let's say demarker, that's the default. But if you've tested, there's some people who use 9, there are others who use 5, there are others who use 13. Depends on your strategy. So this is demarker, and some also add the level. You can also add a level, or so that you can show in the middle. So I'm just showing you done. You have to click done. So you can use the marker, you can use RSI, you can use all these indicators. Also, if you want to add something onto this demarker, you click again, but this time you'll not click on the main chart, you'll click on this demarker window. So you click, if you want to say, let's say you want to add like Bollinger Bands, you say done. Some people will use them, some people will add a moving average, anything. So it depends on whatever you want to add, and if you want to remove them, you just click on those you want to remove, then click delete. So for the people who use price action, they use a naked chart, so they can be checking on the daily. You see whatever they are looking for here, maybe it's the candle formations or anything. It depends, you have to study. Then if, let's say, it shows, maybe for example, let's say in this they showing buy, so you can enter buy entry and wait for the take profit, or wait to lock the profits, or trail. Also, you can, if it's showing on daily, showing buy entry, you can be entering only buy entries on smaller time frames. Like, let's say on daily is showing buy according to those who are using the price action. As for me, I've entered buy because I'm using an indicator on PC that's showing there's a buy entry. So if you don't want to wait for the whole time until the that time lapses, until it shows sell entry as per price action, you'll just be entering. If you're using, let's say, if you want to use minute 15, just look for the buy entries. So all these sales will be a pullback to you. You'll avoid them and you'll not enter. But it takes a lot of study, whether using an indicator or using the price action. So that's how we add the indicators. That's, if you want to add, just remember to click whichever you want and say done. If you want to remove, you click this. Okay, let's first add. If you want to add another one, you can add that. Let's say add what? Like RSI, those are very common. So if you want to add on to RSI, you click this, then click, let's say, moving average. And when you're adding onto the lower window, most of the time you should use first indicator or previous indicator, so that when it's moving, like, let's say, let's add. So like, if you notice, if you don't use a first indicator or previous, see where the blue is. Let's change the color. Pink, my favorite color. So if you just put it at close, you will notice that its movement is quite, it won't give you a good signal. You can see, you see, it's just moving anyhow, up, down. But if you don't want it to move, you use, instead of close, you will use the first indicator data. Okay, so if you move, it doesn't move. The pink is the moving average and it does not move. If you're adding another one onto this, let's say another moving average, this time you will not use the first indicator data, you will use the previous indicator data. You see? But if you use close, it will move and it will not show you the signal you're looking for. So then if you don't want anything on your chart, you just tick on the boxes and then delete. Then you're done. Your charts are clean. So thanks for watching. Bye bye.